Okay, so we're going to show how to make a surgical mask. This is not used as a real surgical mask would be used. I'm going to start out with two pieces of material, 6 inches by 9 inches, 1 and 2. This is a piece of nice flannel. This is a piece of just a regular old cotton that I had back in the closet. So once I get these cut, I'm going to also have 2 pieces of elastic that, let's see, are 7 inches, approximately 7 inches a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is a little bit short. And here's my second piece. So this is what you're going to have. 2 pieces of material and 2 7-inch pieces of 1/4 inch flat elastic is the best. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my elastic, this is going to be the inside. Now I'm going to flip so they're going to be face to face because we're going to sew this inside out. And I'm going to put it just like that. And then I'm going to put it on the machine. I'm using a 1/4 foot on the machine, and I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to sew down. And I'm going to stop. And I'm going to reach in and grab the other end of my elastic. Try to keep it flat. Now I'm going to do the same thing. And the reason I'm doing this, I'm going in about 1/4 inch, is because it'll look good when you turn it inside out. So then I'm going to continue down my line. Back stitch, because this could be a stress point. And then go up to 1/4 again. Now you know your elastic is in there. So then you want to take your 2 pieces of material and make sure that they line up. Look on the other side. And then go down 1/4 inch. Oops, there we go. And now we're going to put our second piece of elastic in. This one is a bit trickier, but you just want to make sure that when you do this, because you're sewing the other side, that you don't sew over your elastic. So I've got these lined up again. Okay, now I'm going to reach in and grab the other end of that elastic from that side, just like that. And you'll see how nice these look when we turn it inside out. So like that. Now, I'm going to go down this side, but when I go down this side, and you can do it on either side. You can make a mark because you want to go up a certain distance. I'll make a mark here, and I'm going to make a mark here. This is a washable marker, so it's not going to come through. So we're going to sew up to here, back stitch, and then we're going to stop and we're going to come up to here, and we're going to back stitch and come up to here. And we're doing this because you need this much to turn the mask inside out. So here we go. And now make sure you're doing 1/4. So I'm going to back stitch. And when you back stitch, you're not going to get threads hanging up when we go to close it. So now here's where we're going to pick it up. stitch. Okay, so here we have this side elastic in here and here. We've sewn all the way across the top, and we've got elastic here and here. I've left my opening, and I'm going to now turn it inside out. You can leave a bigger opening if you think you're going to have trouble getting it out, and then pull your elastics. Now you see how nice that elastic sits in there, nice and flat on that side. And on this side, I got that one turned around just a little bit, but it's not going to hurt. And then I take a chopstick and just poke gently in your corners. Okay, so now we're going to close this opening. So take your mask in both hands and just kind of pull the sides together. And as you do that, you see how your material closes up. And then we're going to top stitch. Now, when you do this, use a thread that's going to look good with this and not be, you know, sticking out, because if you do, it's not going to look near as nice. Now hold that tight so that this is still closed up, and then just do a top stitch as close to the edge as you can. My bobbin thread needs changed. So I'll change bobbin threads and oops. Okay. All right. And here we go. And then go up to close as the edge as you can. And backstitch. Now we're going to do the other side. You can just do a hand press. Okay, so we've got it sewn all the way around. If you have any threads just peeking through, just cut them off. And it looks like this. So at this point, you've sewn across the top and the bottom. We're not going to do this because you create kind of a hump. We're going to do this when we make our pleats. So the first pleat is going to be down about here. We're going to do 3 of them. So we're going to do the first one like that. Put your pin in like this. And the reason you do that is because when you're sewing it, you can very easily pull the pin out. Now on this side, we're going to put the pin the same direction because you're going to be able to pull it out when you're sewing it. You do not want to sew over a pin with your machine. You are likely to break a needle. So we're going to do the second tuck like this. It takes some time to get used to doing these, but they don't have to be perfect. The main thing is that if you get the pleats in there, it's going to help adhere to the face, to the cheeks on your face. So this one's going to go over here. And try to keep these straight on this end so it looks nice. You'll see that mine is, I'm going to start over because I've got them slightly off kilter. So the first one, again. The second one, oops. and then the third one. And right here. And right. Here. Now, if you get a piece that's sticking out like this, you can just poke it back in there. Use your seam ripper if you want, and because it looks better if it's all. Okay, so this is what it should look like before you start sewing it. Now these are not equal, but that's okay. You can keep working on it until you get them a little more equal if you want. So I'm going to put it back on the machine. I'm going to put it as close to that edge, like about a 1/4 inch in. Can you see that? Okay. And again, I'm using a thread that looks good with the material, so it's not going to stand out and look strange. Now I'm going to start sewing, and as I sew, I'm going to hold on to this and pull my needle out at the same time. You don't want to run over a needle. Now, when you get done, I'm going to back stitch a couple, and then I'm actually going to take it off, and I'm going to go over it again. This is a stress point, and it may come apart if it's not gone over a couple of times, but rather than back stitching over the whole thing and to try to stay on the same lines, it's easier just to take it off and then cut your threads off. So this is what this side looks like, just like that. Now let's do the other one. So I'm going to start here. Now, because that is a bit of a hump on that end, I can try to, no, okay. If I need to get over this hump, if you find it's not going over, this is what my hump jumper looks like. It's half of a clothespin, and I use it like this because it's low on one end and high on the end. You can slip it in under your foot until you reach the height of your material. So I'm just going to stick it in there like that. I'm going to stay on the edge and give it a couple stitches. Again, I don't want to go over my needle, so that's why I put my needles in like this, so that I can pull it this direction and continue stitching. As I hold on to this, and then when I get here, I'm going to back stitch. If you get good at back stitching and you've got a good back stitch machine, you can actually hang on to it and back stitch all the way across. I prefer to take it out and go over my same stitching marks, my same line, because it looks much neater rather than have two lines of thread going down it. And that's it for that. So we're going to take the pins out. We're going to cut any little threads off. You want it to look nice and neat. This is what it looks like from the back side. This is what it looks like from the front side. So we're going to test this out. This is the top. So we're going to put it on. And you'll see how it fits nice around here and around here and around here. So that is the end of the video for making a mask. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I'll help you any way I can. So thank you and have a good evening, May.